Hey, lovely lady. Yesterday, you got clear on why wealth is important to you, so you easily neuralink wealth creation with your heart's desires and tapped into your intentional beliefs, right? And today, we're diving into your money MO, meaning what is the script running in the background of your mental operating system that is keeping you stuck in the same addictive patterns that are repelling money? Because after all, this week you're opening the floodgates to allowing the money, honey. And over the past several years, I have had hundreds of conversations with entrepreneurs about their relationship with money. And for many of them, I've helped them rewrite their money stories. Thank goodness for those 7 years of behavioral psychology training paying off. And our money script is playing in the background of our subconscious minds. That's what I have understood and learned through all of this. So it's time to upgrade your mental operating system. The core scripts that are the basis for these money stories usually fall into one of four of the following money script categories. I call them money scripts, okay? Now, like I said, over the last many years, I've had hundreds of conversations with women entrepreneurs about their relationship with money. And so I've aggregated, analyzed all of this research and data and put it into these four scripts, these four categories of things that I've been saying. And what was really cool is that I came across some research, clinical research from two financial psychologists that summed up the research that I had done, making it even more valid. So you can think of this as kind of like doing a personality test of sorts. You might see yourself in a couple of these different scripts, but what you're really looking for is what is your primary money script, the money MO, okay? And it's not that all of it will be completely encompassing of you, but it's the primary one that you identify with. Now, if you don't see yourself in any of them, that is typically a sign that you're really out of touch and unaware, or you're experiencing a lot of resistance, which is okay. If that's the case, I want you to head over to the Facebook group because we can walk you through it there. So here we go. The first category of money script is the avoider. The avoiders are the hot messes with the shoe boxes filled with receipts tucked away in the dark closet. They often believe that money is bad, rich people are greedy and unethical, and that they themselves do not deserve to have money. They believe that they must make their own way in the world and regard earned money as a source of virtue and unearned money, like inheritance or recurring revenue, as somehow immoral or wrong. So, in general, if you have a money avoidance story, you regard money as a source of anxiety, fear, or disgust. You have to work hard and struggle to make money. You might be working in a nonprofit organization, right? So, this is an example of this is one of our Money Master members. When she entered our program, she came in on to one of our calls and she's like, I had this client who wants to do this deal with me. It's $100,000 deal. And I was like, great. What's the problem? Well, I have to send them the invoice. Okay. What's the problem? Well, I haven't sent them the invoice for 3 months. I was like, wait, insert record scratch. What? You haven't sent the invoice out for 3 months? Yes. She was such in a place of avoidance because her money script that was playing in the background for her was saying somehow she didn't deserve this amount of money. This was more money than she had ever made with one client. It was a lot. And somehow inside of her, she believed she didn't deserve it. Now, of course, we helped her break through, ended up getting that money into her bank account, right? We opened the door so she could allow the money into her life, into her heart, and into her bank account, which is great. But that's a great example of an avoider. All right, so let's move to the next one, the worshiper. The worshiper, think of like the conference going or a shopping junkie. And these folks believe that money leads to happiness and fulfillment. They tend to believe that money will solve all of their problems and that there will never, ever, 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 ever be enough money. Money worshipers are often workaholics and compulsive spenders because they're always chasing happiness in the form of wealth. That's the worshiper. And then there's the status seeker. Think of keeping up with the Joneses, right? They believe that their net worth is related to their self worth. These are the people who feel that they must show off their wealth at all costs, even if it means going deep into debt just to keep up appearances. So, having a money status script will lead to attempts to impress others with status, often leading to falling for get rich quick schemes. So, that's the status seeker. And then there's the cautioner. And the cautioner tends to have their finances in order because their money stories state that saving money and being frugal are of the utmost importance. But you can think of these cautioners as kind of like the misers. Think of like Ebenezer Scrooge or Mr. Burns from The Simpsons, right? Having a strong money caution story often can lead these folks to denying themselves basic comforts for fear of spending any money unnecessarily. These are like the hoarders, right? So here's an example of this. Like one of our members, when she entered our program, our Money Master program, she was running a $1 million business, but really kind of financially still struggling along. And she shared the story of going to a trade show. And instead of getting a $10 to $15 Uber ride with all of her bags that she had to set up at her booth, she decided to carry them on her shoulders for about 25 minutes. Now, by the time she got there, she had a headache, she was sweating, she was energetically frustrated, her shoulders were hurting, right? And so she saved 10 or 15 bucks, but she sacrificed herself in the process, therefore leading to really not showing up with the customers that were, coming to the trade show that day. She wasn't really in a good mood to even be with them. Now, ultimately, that ended up hurting her as well as hurting her sales experience there on the trade show floor. And if she had just invested that $10 to $15, she could have spared herself all of that. So that's a great example of the cautioner. So now, what is the money script record that is playing in your head? Which one are you? Again, I'll summarize: the avoider, the worshiper, the status seeker, and the cautioner. Now, remember, the first step in allowing the money honey is awareness, right? Being aware of your money MO is huge. And now that you'll begin to see how this shows up in so many ways in your life, you'll begin to see how it shows up in all kinds of areas in your life because you're going to start paying attention. I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become. And today's Money Work Challenge is to reflect on your money MO using the worksheet provided, and then head over to the Facebook group and answer this question. What is your money MO? And how is it showing up in your life? What is your money MO? And how is it showing up in your life and business?